Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an SU-8. It's the Tier 6 Soviet SPG and it's located on the north spawn of mines under the command of Kremaj 72. I'll say that again, Kremaj 72, because the start announcement caught me. And he's got 2 marks on his barrel, so he's a really good player. You don't get 2 marks unless you've played your heart out into this particular Arty. It's a 152mm gun, and he's aiming at the enemy. Oh, he got a first shot on that Cromwell just as he was going up through the gap at the top of the hill. Now, he's got a 17.3 second reload. It's not the fastest reload in the game for the Tier 6. That goes to the M44, but it's a very accurate gun. It does a lot of damage, and it's pretty accurate as well. It's based on the chassis of a T28. Lining up a shot with the T34. Oh, it went over the top and landed behind him. Okay, so he's aiming at the hill again. We've got 12 ton just at the corner, but he's aiming for a Leo right at the back, who is actually engaging somebody on the island. And he's moving now, just dialing in, and yep, round out, and oh, well, it landed right in front of him for 258 hit points. Now the alpha damage of the 152 is 600 hit points if you get a penetration, and it's 38mm it can penetrate. So that wasn't a pen, it was a splash. He's fired at it. Oh, blind, and he got the kill. Now he's right at the back of the map. I think he was actually firing as he was moving backwards. I suspect he might have been. So he's now sitting at the back, and we've got a Type 64 up on the hill. He's loaded and round out. Wasn't fully dialed in, but he gets a 45 hit point splash. Right, now this is one of the more usual positions. Either this or in the far northwest corner of the map. But it's also fairly easy to locate Arty if you're in this position. Aiming for an FV201 at the centre line. Round out. Direct hit. Right onto the turret. 217 hit points. We'll probably see a yellow mark on that turret showing where it hit. And he's been stunned again, so I suspect that he was hit by another Arty, maybe the M44. We're loaded. Rounds out again. And another hit. 231 this time. And that FV201, he's in a rather unfortunate position there, because he's getting hit not only by Arty, but he's also getting hit by some of the tanks on the north side. But we did just lose our AMX M445, who really shouldn't have gone up there to that centre line. But we fire at the FV201 and get another hit, 230 this time. Now, you don't have a huge number of rounds for this tank when you go into the battle. It's unfortunate, but the thing is, it's all about making good use of them. Oh, no, didn't get one there. You've got 26 rounds in total when you start the game. Okay, we've got an SU... Oh, it's a box tank. Oh, he's gone. Okay, so we can't shoot at him. Or we could, but we'd waste the shell if we did. There's that Type 64. Lightly armoured light tank. And... round out. No, I think that went behind him. It was just a little too late. The Cromwell's gone down, but we're still 1 tank below the enemy team. Oh, the enemy Arty's been spotted at the back. Okay, that's a priority target. Need to take the enemy Arty out of the game, so it'll give our tanks some relief. We're dialing in. There are 2 enemy Artys. Oh, the M44 gets there before us and takes out his counterpart on the enemy team. But we hit the Tiger 1, who's sitting at the back, camping, and he shouldn't be there. 278 hit points. This is what we say, Arty does reduce camping. If somebody sits at the back and they won't take part in the game, then an Arty round is going to remind them that they should actually be up at the front, engaging other tanks, not be engaged by the Arty. I know people do say it's a rather hackneyed phrase that Arty prevents camping, but it really does. If you sit at the back doing nothing, you will get punished for it. Now, we're going into the corner here because that enemy tank was headed this way, and if he comes over the island, the middle island, on the west side, he would see us. So we're going to have to pull back into a position, try and shoot over the rock. And we've got that FV201, the same one we've been hitting repeatedly. And he's come up to the center rock again. But he's only got 63 hit points. We could probably splash kill him here. Fires a round in and... oh, it goes long! It's nowhere near the FV201, unfortunately. RNGesus was not kind to us on that day. Now the good news is we've got the hill. We've got an E25 in the hill as well. And so he's spotting the enemy on the fast side of the hill. But we need to see that FV201. There he is. Now, he's at the center rock. I suppose he's hoping that the E25 will come to view. You see him teasing the line over the top of the gap. Oh, he's killed the FV. He managed to do it. He teased the line over the gap so he could see where the red mark ended. And he lined the red mark up on the FV201 and then shot him. And the shell went straight to the target and wiped out that. It was the narrowest of gaps. You can see that very, very narrow gap on the FV201. So we're now one tank up on the enemy. There's 4 left on the enemy team. 1 heavy, that Tiger 1 who's sitting. Well, he's actually now on the east side of the map. He's decided he's not going to camp at the back. But the E25 has lost sight of him. Oh, no, there he is. And we can also see one of the enemy Arty. It's the SU-8 on the enemy team. Fire the round in, and no, we hit the rock face. He's in a fairly Arty safe position. But you see there, what Cream had just done is he teased the line over the target. So as soon as he saw the red line on the target, he knew that he had a perfect solution. But unfortunately, the SU-8 has been killed. So now there's no enemy to shoot at. Other than the Tiger 1, we know where he is, but he's in an Arty safe position. We'd have to relocate to shoot at him. The Type 64, well, last seen he was on the South Island, and they do have one other tank on their team, the SU-152. Now, he was last seen in Grid Square K4. Now, the Type 64 has now been seen. He's in Grid Square G4, and he's pulling back to shoot at that spot. Can he get around in? He's looking there. He's used the little trick that we do in Arty, which is to actually use your control key and then right click on the minimap where you want to look, and it will take you there straight away. Fires around in, and no, unfortunately on that occasion doesn't get anything. The E25's relocated, and he's actually headed back towards our camp area. I don't think he realizes that he can actually be more effective waiting for the enemy to come towards us. And there's the SU-152. He's been spotted. We're going to dial in and hit him. It's a very bad position for the SU-152 to be in, unfortunately. Fires around it, and it hits the rock, but it still does some damage. 132 hit points. That's a good strike, but it just went slightly to one side. Now, we're going to wait for the spots from the Dicamax and the E25. E25 is still circling our cap. Oh, he's gone into the bushes. We fire around him where the SU-152 was last seen. The Type 64 on our team is moving to spot for us. He's sitting at the corner, but he won't see the SU-152 if he's hiding behind the rocks. But he doesn't really want to expose himself to a round from that 152mm gun. Oh, there's the Type 64 on the enemy team. Can we put a shot into him? Well, I think so. Oh, he's been killed. E25 got him. Those are little assassins, those E25s. They really are. Very satisfying if you're in an Arty and you kill one. I can tell you. Especially if they're at full speed on the move. And I've done that in an SU-8, funnily enough. Okay, where's that SU-152 gone? Type 64 is going up onto the island. So's the E25. I don't think he'll be there. I think he would have pulled back. Well, they've moved forward and they can't see him. Yep, he's pulled off the island. Oh, there he is. Oh, he is on the island. Amazing. Why did he stay there? Now he's teasing the line over the target. Fires around him. Couldn't get it right onto the target, but he splashes him. But we do lose the Type 64. But the E25 is now firing at the SU-152 and he's in grave danger. He needs to get out of there quick. You're faster forward than you are going back. We fire a round in and get 138 hit points. So does the M44. The E25 manages to escape a little. I think the SU-152 might be tracked. He's tempting fate, that E25. We're going for the kill shot. Yes! 7 hit points. That's our 3rd kill for Creamage. Now there's only one enemy left. It's the Tiger one, the ineffective one that we hit, who was sitting at the back camping, and now we're going after him. So we're going to relocate. And yeah, I think what Creamage is going to do is he's going to go down the west side of the map. He might not be able to shoot onto the east side of the map from the west side if the Tiger one's hiding behind the hill. But if the Tiger one relocates and goes back to his cap, then they will be able to hit him. Ideally as well, he could get into the enemy cap area and shoot at the Tiger one from his own cap. Yep, there he is. He's been spotted. The other team are saying go to the cap, and I think that's what Creamage is going to do. Oh, be careful. Ooh. Yeah, I've jumped that and unfortunately come a cropper in the past. When Wargaming made some changes to the maps, they actually made it sometimes more difficult to cross certain places that you ought to be able to do fairly easily. But he's just checking there to see, did he have a shot on the Tiger 1? Almost. Almost. Now he does. And we just lost the E25 to the Tiger 1. He has been spotted by the Tiger 1. But I think he's just out of over the ridgeline. The M44 is right in front of the Tiger 1, firing at him. The Tiger 1's facing the other way. He's not even looking at the M44. And we fired around into the rear of the Tiger 1, who's just not reacting. And look at the rear of his tank has been peppered with HE rounds. And the M44 fires another one right into the rear. He's totally ignoring them. And another round goes in. That's the high caliber. 225 hit points. One more shot. He's dead. And the M44 knows the Dicamax gets him. And that's the game. What a place for the M44 to be. Sitting behind the enemy heavy, shooting him in the ass. Well, I've done that myself as well, so I can know. It's very funny when you do it. You come up behind a heavy and they can't understand why an Arty's in such a forward position. And here's the end of battle results. It's an ace tanker for Creamage 72 in the SU-8, the Tier 6 Soviet SPG. He also managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 17. A Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle overall. And that's because he did do a lot of hits on a lot of enemy targets. So let's have a look at the team scores. Well, highest damage, 2,694 hit points. He really monstered that game. The FV201 was, funnily enough, the highest scorer on the enemy team, the tank that Creamage 72 took out. He managed to get 2,195 hit points, but of course, Creamage managed to get a fair bit more than him. When it came to kills, it was the E25 who managed to get the most. He managed to get 5 kills in total. Then of course we've got Creamage and the M44, 3 kills apiece, and it would have been nice if they could have platooned together, but sadly no, Wargaming just won't let Arty platoon. And really you ought to let us, because after all it's not fair really that Arty can't platoon and enjoy themselves like other tanks do. I know we do platoon with other tanks in a dynamic platoon, but even in a platoon when you enter battle, but it would be nice if we could platoon with other Arty as well to take advantage of the number of kills we managed to get. When it came to base XP, we can see that, yep, it's Creamage again, top of the table, 1,146, enough for the ace tanker. The E25 came second with 1,035. I'm not sure if that's an ace tanker. I think that might be just a first class. And the M44 came away with 840 during that game. Highest that the enemy could get was their FV201 again. He managed to get 535 base XP. He didn't get any kills though, unfortunately. Their highest score was their Type 64. He managed to get 3. So let's have a look at detail report. Well, Creamage fired 23 rounds. He only had 28 rounds, so he only had 5 rounds left at the end of the battle. He fired 23 rounds. He got 8 direct hits, 8 penetrations, splash damage on 10. damage of 2,694 hit points, of which 2,292 were at more than 300 meters. The rounds that she shot into the Tiger 1 were a lot closer, so that's why there's a difference between those two. He damaged 7 of the enemy, he killed 3 of them, and he did stun assistance damage of 781 hit points off 15 stuns. He received 34,522 credits on a standard account, would have been 50,000 credits or 51,000 with a premium count. And after ammunition resupply, he took away 15,892 credits. With a premium count, it would have been double that. And he received 1,146 base XP, and there was no multipliers, so I'm afraid that's all he took away. But fantastic round by Creamash. Got some lovely shots in there, and not all of them were fully dialed in on the target, but that shot on the FV201, threading the shell through the gap in the rock to hit the turret of the FV201 behind, when only the top of the turret was showing. That was pure mastery, and you could see that he was using his technique of teasing the line over the target to see if he could get the red line on the target, starting from the target, which meant obviously the target was in the way of the shell and the shell would hit it. So beautiful Arty mastery there. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.